which is Little River Link, Cycle Connections, Aidanfield. We'll have our introduction.
So the Aidanfield connection through Nash Reserve is essentially a project that connects some pathways, unfinished pathways that connects to an underpass on the motorway. It sits on a very strong existing desire line to the point where there's an informed, that essentially what we're doing is upgrading an informed path.
I just want to say that 85.7% of the 21 submissions were fully in support that this would improve safety for cycling. The largest themes and requests were how this would address existing safety, so support, along with requests for addressing flooding, connecting to Bronco Drive, addressing visibility and lighting, as well as extending the route. Some of those requests were able to be picked up, including connecting to Bronco Drive, investigating visibility and lighting as part of the detailed design, raising the bridge over the stream above the flood plain, I think, and replacing trees proposed for the playground area, so 6 trees there, as well as to improve privacy around those houses.
And to just cover off the obvious question, which was the potential for the alternative route that was presented, we have given consideration to that. There's a number of issues with it. So the first one being that it's off the design line and represents maybe 200 to 300 metres of additional travel for an average user within that catchment. It would compromise an acoustic fence adjacent to the motorway to be able to build it along the motorway alignment. It's actually within stormwater retention area, which would reduce the capacity, which would be a major issue. And where it would reconnect across the Heathcote River is about 2 to 3 times wider than where the existing bridge was, which would add a lot of complexity and cost associated with the structure. So essentially, we're quite satisfied that the existing alignment, and obviously where the community are using it at the moment, is the right alignment.
Thank you. That's a really robust response to that. Is there a mover and seconder for this one? Councillor Templeton moving it, Councillor Coker seconding it. Are there any further questions of staff? Councillor Moore and then Councillor Peters.
Thank you very much for the explanation on the alternative routes. That's really good. Are you just able to touch on the reasoning for extending the route beyond the playground? And the reasonings for?
This is the Bronco Connect.
Yeah, so in extending it beyond the playground over to Date Crescent, as opposed to just by the playground?
Well, yeah, there's a reasonably strong design line for that. If you were to see photos or go down there, it's pretty obvious that it's really well utilised. And I believe it would be fair to say that if you come from Date Crescent, the pathway goes as far as the path and then stops, and then it's being carried on formally by basically where people have been using it to connect them with the motorway. So I feel this is really completing the intent of planned networks that have just never really been finished.
Thank you. And I'm just wondering if I'm able to add a noting provision around meeting with residents to address security concerns and work with on whatever may be useful or helpful in that process. Is that going to be fine to be added and something you're able to do?
Sure.
Lovely. Yeah. Is it possible to add that, please?
Okay. Can you send your reading through?
Yes, can we just say, note that staff, request staff to work with residents regarding any security concerns they may have.
That's right.
Yep. Okay, got that. Thank you. Hang on, we'll just check. Is that too broad?
Yeah.
Were there specific submitters that you were thinking of, Councillor Moore?
Or the submitters that have spoken.
The submitters. So work with the submitters
That have spoken today, so there's
who've
3.
spoken today regarding the security concerns. Does that work, Lynette?
My issue is I don't know whether we can address the security concerns.
Just listening to them.
So is it you want us to work with staff, or you want us to meet with submitters to understand their security concerns and see whether there's anything possible that we can do?
Meet on site, yes, please.
Meet with them to understand these concerns. That's all we need to
Yeah.
say. That's great.
To
Thank you.
understand their concerns.
Meet with the submitters to understand their security concerns.
Request
Yeah.
that staff meet with.
The submitters
Who've spoken today to understand any security.
concerns they may have.
Excellent. Thank you. Councillor Peters?
Cover that.
I think that noting provision pretty well covers it.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
I would have defined it perhaps as the submitters from Annie's Place, I think it was in particular, that we're talking about that. That covers it.
Okay. All right. So if there's no more questions, is there any debate on this one? No? I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Against? That's carried. Thank you. That's a unanimous one. Item 6, Simeon Street.